All right, what's up, everybody? It is Tuesday, 10X. We are just going on 2 weeks since we are officially in a new market shift. So for months, we've known we're in a market shift. We felt that we're in a market shift, but now we are 2 weeks past the Fed, like we are in a market shift. Rates are coming down. Guys, there's new opportunity. There's new hope. There's new scripts and new strategies. So who better than to have Jeremy Forcier, the most interviewed person on the Mortgage Coach YouTube channel. What's up, J-Dog? Boom. Oh, double fist.
That's right.
So,
I'm going double down, double
okay,
fist.
double. So Jeremy and I are going to be a little more in sync than normal, despite the fact that, we have hundreds of hours of creating content together. I spent 24 hours with him last week. We had the most amazing taco tasting for lunch last Friday. Thank you for that, Jeremy. That was quite a gift.
That was fun.
Yeah. So dude, I know this is like part two of your top scripts in this market, but when you and I were talking, we were saying, hey, because refis are such a thing, I mean, I think you said you've filled up your funnel with about 17 million in refis over the past
Correct.
couple of weeks, right?
Yeah, three and a half weeks, something like that.
Yeah, so I think we need to do a little bit of a replay on that because also when we did that several weeks ago, it wasn't like we were in a rate and term refi market. Uh,
Totally.
so So first, just summary, what is the size of your pipeline? How much volume you expect to do this year as a producer?
Cool. So active pipeline as of today is 51 units. So when I say active, that's disclosed files, actual files in process, people getting disclosures, etc. Um, as far as this year goes, it looks like I'm tracking around 115 million from a volume standpoint. And that's just the personal production side outside of my team production. Um, and it's been a really fun run. I mean, and you guys, listen, I'm going to start by saying this for all of you. If anyone feels discouraged about the last couple of years or even about this year, my first quarter, even halfway through the second quarter, was just awful. My first two quarters were really bad. I mean, I closed 4 loans in February, I think, like something like that. And for the size of support that I carry, like that's not enough, right? So just know that it's about following the process. It's about doing the daily disciplines, the things that you're creating your standards around every day. And that's how momentum happens. That's how opportunities happen. So wherever you sit today, whether you have 50 million in the pipeline, whether you have 1 million in the pipeline, all you have to focus on is today. You're going to focus on these scripts that we're going to go over, strategies. And if you just execute those every single day over 30 days, 60 days, your pipeline will explode as well.
Yeah, and how has your team been? So you've got a full pipeline. You've taken 17 million refis. Are the other loan officers that are part of your division, are they having that same type of success and that same type of
Um,
increase in production?
no, and that's interesting to me. So usually the trend is where my volume goes, everyone's volume goes. So I think this is a different time and a different market. I think it's different than anything we've ever seen. That even though market presents opportunities, this is a time for you to be the opportunity, like even more. It's not people just ringing you, calling. It's not straightforward. There's margin compression still. It's not like there's just free refinances at 5.9% yet. There is a lot of work that has to be done. So yes, people's production it has gone up, it's trended up, but not to the level, right? Not to the level that I'm seeing in mine. And the only difference that I see is the amount of outreach that I'm doing, the amount of videos that I'm doing, the amount of times that I'm asking questions, the type of questions that I'm asking, which is what we're going to cover today a little bit in these scripts.
Yeah, and so my observations, because I've been not only interviewing loan officers in public, but I've also been having conversations. And guys, I believe this quarter in 2025 is a defining period of time for mortgage
Yep,
professionals. Like
I agree with
technology
that.
is, AI is accelerating the change. Servicers who service loans have never been more dialed in. Not only are they using their tech, but their loan officers are trained. Like, we've lost 100,000 loan officers, and the loan officers are left are pretty damn good at
Yep.
transactions. And then you got the Jeremy Forciers who are not only good at transactions, they're good at advice. So guys, this is a game time. Like, this quarter, Q4, today is the first day of Q4 of 2024. If you play the game right, and I'm going to push you all, if you're tuned into this, the next 30 days, like think of this as we're kicking off a 30-day transformational opportunity for you to crush it. Here's the other thing. I've talked to loan officers that are converting refis, and it's taken them like 30 plus minutes to do it. And I've talked to loan officers that are sending fee worksheets, and they're not having great conversations. And I know because I'm at the IMB Summit, I'm talking to executives where their price concessions are going up. Their loan officers are losing more loans than they've lost in the past to servicers because their pricing is so sharp. So Jeremy, with all that said, because you've got a great winning presentation, what is your strategy and script to take sniper shots and drive
Yep.
17 million in rate and term refis? Script number one,
Yeah.
guys.
So script number one, really simply, the easiest script to use, and this script needs to be used in this sequence. Okay, so the sequence, right, is call, text, email, text, call, email, text. It's all three. You have to do it in this sequence, right? So before I give you the sequence, you have to have the data, right? So you have to have a list to make sure that you're preparing and you have a list of loans of people that have interest rates that are
Hey there, Mr. Power.
that are 6.75% and higher. And then you want to sort those, right? From highest interest rate to lowest interest rate, right? Highest interest rate to lowest interest rate. And you just want to sniper starting the people with the highest interest rates. Okay, so let's talk about the sequence script. So this is a script, and then you can do it 3 different ways in a sequence, right? So I always start with a phone call, right? The phone call. Phone call is really, really simple. This is what it sounds like. And I'm going to pretend that you get voicemail, because you will get voicemail 80, 90% of the time. People don't pick up their phone the way that they used to, right? They expect the text. But there is a reason why I do it in call, email, then text, and I'll explain. Okay, so this is what the voicemail sounds like. Hey Dave, it's Jeremy Forcier with Cross Country Mortgage. I was taking a look at interest rates, and there's multiple opportunities for you to either save money monthly or to pay off your loan twice as fast. I promised I would reach out to you when opportunities present themselves. Please give me a call back and let me know a good time that works for your schedule. I'm also going to send you an email and a text message. Feel free to get back to me either way. That's the script. Really, really, really simple, right? Is that I told you we would follow up with opportunities where you can save money monthly or pay off your loan twice as fast, right? I'm going to follow up with you via email and text as well. Feel free to get back to me whenever you have a moment. You can use any of those platforms to get back to me, and we can set a time to chat. Super simple script. Now, keys of that script are, number one, I told them up front that I was going to follow up with them, right, when opportunities present themselves. So I'm doing that, right? Now, even if you didn't tell them that, you can still use the script the exact same way, okay? Don't change it, by the way. Don't change it. Even if you didn't say up front, hey, I'm going to follow up with you whenever there's opportunities in the market. I'm going to reach out to you and let you know what those opportunities are. Even if you didn't say that, still use the script the same way. Borrowers don't remember all the time. I mean, they think about all the things they have to remember in a 30-day time frame. Okay, so just lay it out there just like that, and then honor your promise. Now, the email sounds like this. Here's the email script is, Dave, just left you a voicemail, right? Please listen to it when you have a moment. We have some big opportunities for you right now to either save money monthly or to pay off your loan twice as fast. When is a good time for us to connect? Okay, so it's an option close, just so you know, right? So that is the email. Then the text is really simple. You sent the email. The text is, hey Dave, it's Jeremy Forcier, Cross Country Mortgage. I left you a voicemail and email regarding saving money monthly or paying off your loan twice as fast with big opportunities right now available to you in the market. When is a good time to discuss? So there is a reason, Dave, that we do the three. I do personally the three, right? That is three reinforcements on three different platforms of communication that this is a what kind of deal, Dave? A
This is
big deal.
limited time and it's important.
It's a
Yeah, this
limited
is
time. It creates
game time.
urgency. This is a big deal. If someone follows up with you three times in three different platforms, it does create a sense of urgency on the other side to like, oh gosh, I should like check in. I should check this out. So there's a reason why I do it in the three-prong approach, and it works really good. Okay. It works really, 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 really good. You also will have more response if you do it in the three-prong approach. So that's the first script. It's so unbelievably simple, but you want to give two things for them to think about in the script, right? If you called and they answered, it's the same script. Hey, Dave, it's Jeremy Forcier, Cross Country Mortgage, right? I told you I would follow up with you when there's opportunities in the market to save money. Right now, it looks like you could save money big, but you could also pay off your loan twice as fast. Which one sounds more interesting to you? That's if you were talking to them. Which one sounds more interesting to you, right? Are you more interested in saving money monthly, or are you more interested in paying off your loan twice as fast? That is a conversation starter, right? And when you present that info, that's if you talk to them. So I gave you a script just there that I promise will get you appointments in the least. And that gives you the ability to have the conversation. If they answer the phone, you give them the what are you more interested in side of things. If they don't answer the phone, just the two big opportunities that you want to review with them: save money monthly, pay off your loan twice as fast, and then you can move on from there. I'm going to keep rolling with this because Dave is getting scolded, which I love. It's just so great that he's in a public place getting pounded. So let's talk about something else. I'm gonna play off of this with people that ask you questions, right? Yeah, Dave.
No, you keep going on this, and if you
Good.
could make sure you tell where are you creating the mortgage coach total cost analysis and when are you delivering
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Absolutely. So real simple is that when you talk to someone after you've made this appointment, because you will get a very high response rate doing it that way if you do it exactly the way that I said. Now, when you're talking to people that maybe have talked to another lender already, that happens. They see interest rates online. I've had this happen multiple times with some of these clients that I have going, right? And they want to know, what's your rate? And I get asked the question too. It's not just a buzzword. I know we talk about it a lot on here in our industry, but it's real. It happens all the time, right? Because people don't know what else to ask. You have to go back to the third part of the script that I used just a second ago. So I'm going to role play with myself. This is a real scenario that happened literally last week. Had a client, I'm going to call him ECern. So ECern, got a hold of me and was like, hey, I would love to take a look at refinancing. He said, I've been shopping around. He told me up front, right? I've been shopping around, just trying to get an idea of what things look like. Citi currently has my current loan. So I called them and I would just love to know, what's your rate? That was the question that ECern asked me. So your response needs to go in this sequence. Notice that I keep saying a sequence a lot. Sequence matters. Okay. So sequence number one is that when someone says, hey, I've been shopping around, and they ask you, what's your rate? Don't ever be irritated by that. The fact that they are calling you personally is awesome. And that means that you have a chance to serve them. That means that like you're still on their mind, regardless of who else they talk to. That means that there is opportunity there. It's very easy to be short-sighted and go, I can't believe this person's calling someone else. Now I'm going to be in a rate war, and oh my God, it's going to be so awful. That's not true. So here's the part one of the script. When they ask you, what's your rate? I've been shopping around, etc. I always say this: ECern, that is awesome. I'm so glad that you got some information and that you went around and checked out just to see around where rates were at, etc. I think that's great. I'd be honored to help you with that. You have to honor them, you guys, right? I'd be honored to help you with that. I'm so glad that you got some information. Don't put them on the defense by being defensive yourself, right? You honor it. That's awesome. That's amazing. You did some research. I'm honored to help you. Let's take a look at it. And then you hit them with the last part of the script that I did before, is that, ECern, let me ask you, like, what is more interesting to you? Okay, and you can do this two different ways, you guys. What is of more interest to you? paying off your home loan like twice as fast and saving hundreds of thousands of dollars, or just saving money monthly from a cash flow standpoint, right? So you take the part of the last script when you're talking to someone and ask you what's your rate, and you just throw it back with the question. This is the most disarming question that you can ask someone that is shopping rates or wants to know what your rate is, or that you want to get engaged, is that you can quantify it in numbers, right? Is you can say, are you looking more to save like a ton of money monthly from a cash flow standpoint, or are you looking like pay off this home twice as fast? When I asked my client this, his response was great because it changes the dynamic. It went from what's your rate, his question, to answering my question, which he said, actually, I want to pay off this loan in 5 years or so if I can. And I was like, oh my gosh, 5 years, that's great. I said, have you looked at like a 10-year fixed rate mortgage or anything like that? And he was like, no, actually, I haven't. And I was like, oh, well, that's what we should focus on first. Let's take a look at a 10-year fixed rate mortgage and see what that would look like. You can still pay it off faster than that if you'd like, but that's going to give you like the best possible outcome from a payment and interest rate standpoint. And then I got to give him just some basic information, right? It looks like if you do a 10-year fixed, your payment's going to be $27.50 per month. And you're going to pay that off in 10 years. You're currently set up to pay off your house in 29.1 years, right? So I think that is definitely, if that payment is affordable to you, that is the way that I would go. And he was like, that sounds great. Then he asked me about cost. Okay, so don't forget, people are more educated than ever right now, especially when it comes to refis, for sure. Like, because they have so much information, per Dave's point, at their fingertips. They're using the Trust Engine app, right? And the Sales Boomerang app. Big companies are using all this technology, like, to be able to reach out. So you have to know how to position yourself.
And also remember, whether they've already got a call and a proposal from their servicer, they're going to get a call. Like, you have to assume that every refi is a battle. You may be coming in to the knife fight over rate, but before you close that refi, sooner or later, you're going to be in a position where it is about rate, and your ability to get ahead of that, deal with objections, bring your A game, bring as much value. And that's why, and by the way, most servicers are, and strategies, at least I have not heard this, are going, hey, do you want to save 700 or 370 loans a month? Or would you like to save $250,000 and pay off your home 7 years, 7.5 years earlier? Like, they're not coming with that specificity, and you can do that.
100%. Yep, exactly. So that's what from a script standpoint, though, you guys, I'm giving you like the full range. I gave you the initial call to Sniper. I gave you, then you follow up in the email and text, and then we transition to, like, if you're talking to them, whether they called you or you set up the appointment, and they're going to ask, what's your rate? What's the rate? What interest rate can you get me? They're going to ask that question, so you might as well be prepared with it. And always answer back with a question that allows you to go in 2 directions minimum. 2 directions minimum. Okay. 3 directions you can use as well. So I'm going to add one to it. So if you're talking to someone and they ask you what your rate is, another response I can give is okay, that's great. I go, so I want to tailor this to your specific like goals. So are you looking to pay off your loan twice as fast? Are you looking just to save monthly from a cash flow standpoint? Or are you thinking about taking cash out to consolidate some debt or use for a remodel? So you've given them 3 things to think about. So you can use the 2 things or the 3 things before you answer what the rate is. Let them pick the scenario that they want to look at, and then you can tailor it. Now you're in control of the conversation and you're showing real value. You're not just showing like a checklist. All right, got that. Here's your rate. You don't have to do that. Now, negative feedback that I get from my LOs, which really isn't negative, by the way, it's just like a lack of understanding. So I want to address it here. Is they're like, okay, well, that sounds great, but like, what rate do you actually tell them? They always ask me that. Like, well, what are you actually telling them? Like, how are you actually answering? And you guys, I will tell you that we're all overthinking it when it comes to this. What I do is that if it doesn't make sense from a rate and cost standpoint right now, I'm telling them that, hey, based on what I'm seeing here, this is your target. This is your target rate. right? And I think that we're getting there really fast. I think we're going to be really close to getting there in the next couple months. So what I would do is that let's not be in a rush to lock. This is another script. Let's get your file set up and let's get it underwritten and approved. Let's not be in a rush to lock, but let's be in a rush to get set up and be prepared so that we do know exactly what the options are. Because there are a couple things that could go wrong, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, like if we don't prepare for it up front. Number one is that we need to know if we need an appraisal or not on your house. If we do need an appraisal on your house, we want to know what the value is that we can actually use for your refinance. That way we'll know what the exact options are for cash out, what the exact options are for your pricing, for your product, and the best interest rate humanly possible, right? Number two is that we want to make sure that nothing has changed, like with your income and qualification. I want to make sure that we can qualify for exactly what is going to be best for you. And if there's anything we need to fix from a structure standpoint, we can do that. And the third thing is we also want to make sure that your credit score is optimized. So when we're going to run a soft pull credit report, it doesn't affect your score. But I'll be able to look at that, and I have software built in that will tell me if we do X, Y, and Z, your score will go up to X number. And then that could have a significant impact on the rate and cost of the loan. So what I recommend is that we be really fast to get this set up and started, and then we can take our time and be patient together and look at the market and make sure I'm optimizing your opportunities to save the most money. So that's another script that I use all the time with people. And Dave, what I really want everyone to take away here is that I'm always getting them to think about other things, but it's not to distract them. It's because that is what's most important. It literally, I believe it in my bones. That is what's most important. If I could show someone how to increase their credit score by 40 points in a 30-day time frame by paying down balances by $3,800, and that will save them a 0.5% in interest rate or 1% in loan cost fee because their credit score is higher, that is real value. That is managing mortgages. That is client for life experience. If we do all of those things, that is where you create unbelievable separation rather than just being a data miner, right? Which servicers, to Dave's point, are going to be the best at. They just are. They have the resources. They have the manpower behind it. They're going to be better at strictly just data mining. That doesn't mean that they're better about creating optimization for a borrower and for their experience.
Yeah, and I want to package all of the things that Jeremy said around leadership and advice. Servicers are going to have a very tight price. They're going to be great at delivering a transactional experience with price. To give value, get the consumer to look beyond the transaction. You know, when do you want to have your home paid off? Do you want to consolidate debt? Do you want to do home improvements? And then bring leadership. And here's the deal, guys. Not only does leadership create consumer value, guys, leadership improves conversion. So everyone watching this, guys, you are getting like the sequence of three. You're getting, you know, giving people options, expanding beyond the transaction, helping people achieve financial freedom through sustainable homeownership. Like we are moving into a year that could be incredibly successful for people that have these scripts, that have these tactics, and then implement them consistently. So Jeremy, over the next 6 minutes, I'd like to wrap up, call it the rate and term refi, you know, how we're going to win with refis, then get into some other scripts. What else needs to be shared for this to be a complete class?
Yeah, I think that what else would need to be shared for this to be a complete class is like, when and how are you presenting the information within MortgageCoach? Okay, when and how are you presenting the information in MortgageCoach? So I'm going to give you, I always have this is my primary play. So think about football. They have a play they know they're going to go into, they're going to run the play on offense, but then they also look at the defense. And sometimes they call an audible. That would be my second play, right? So there's always two plays. I never go in with just one strategy. As far as a mortgage coach, a total cost analysis, I always have this is the normal play, and then this is the audible play. Okay, so a normal play for me would be that I have this conversation with everyone, right? And they are like totally into all the things that I said, and they're like, that sounds great. Let's get it started. Let's get it set up. We haven't covered any crazy specifics or anything like that, right? And they just are into the advice and following the process. In that scenario, I would have them fill out a loan application. I would get it cleaned up, and then I would give them, here are all the numbers and strategy after, right? Now that works for me about 75% of the time. Because people will understand it 75% of the time, and people will follow things if they understand it about 75% of the time. They'll follow your process if you can articulate it clearly. Now, the other 25%, at the end of the conversation, they always say, oh, that sounds all great. They go, can you just give me an idea? When someone asks you, by the way, can you just give me an idea? It sounds very like you could blow past it and go, oh, no, we're going to do that as soon as we fill out the loan app. You're missing. That is a red flag. When someone says, can you just give me an idea? They're unsure still. They're unsure of what you're saying from a strategy standpoint. They're unsure of what you're saying on like, do I want to actually fill something out? So when someone says, hey, can you just give me like an idea or a rough idea? It's not a commitment. They say this all the time because they're nervous about challenging you. I know it's not a commitment, but can you give me an idea? And I go, hey, no problem. I'm going to put together like a really quick just overview presentation, then we'll dial in more so you can see what it looks like visually. And I will create a total cost analysis for them. Even if I don't have a loan application, even if they haven't filled anything out, I will still go ahead and create one for them. So an example of what that looks like, and I'll share my screen, right, is this. So this is an example, right, of someone who I talked to, had a great conversation and whatnot, but they were still like, I don't know, like if I want to fill out an app, if it's the right time. So what I showed them here is that they're currently in, by the way, they have a first and second loan, right? They can combine these loans into one loan. And ironically, I am doing an FHA loan, you guys, even though they have a ton of equity in the house. So this is where your knowledge can come into play. Their credit score is not great. It's in the 650 range. They want to combine the first and second loan. First loan is at 6.875. Second loan is at 11.5, right? And they also want, by the way, cash out. Okay, but they're qualified, very qualified. So what I showed them here was very specific. I showed them like, hey, we're going to get you into a 5.75% 30-year fix, combining your current first and second, right? Your payment there is going to be $92.88. And then in the second column, I showed them like, hey, in order to get that $100,000 cash out so we can consolidate your debts of $68,000, right? We're going to lower that to 7.875%. You're currently paying 11.5. And that's going to get you a payment of $886. So then before I get to column number 3, in the video, and I can send Dave this link, you guys can watch the video. I explain to them how much they're going to save monthly just from the refi, plus how much they're going to save by consolidating this debt into this new lower interest rate because they have $60,000 of debt, right? So they're going to save like, and I can't remember off the top of my head, like $992 a month or $1,100 a month. It's a big number, right? By doing this. And then I go on even further to say that, hey, future, it says right here, future with no debt. I'm casting the vision out for them of like, I think that we will hit under 5% interest rates over the next 12 to 15 months. And when that happens, if you keep your debt at 0, and if you make all your monthly payments on time, your credit score will be over 720 for sure. And if you do that, this is what you can expect your monthly payment to be moving forward on a rate and term refinance. So I'm showing them options, you guys, that are very specific, even though they didn't fill out the loan application yet. So if you have that strategy, don't be afraid to share the strategy. Have a normal process and then have your audible. Dave, I'm happy to say that those people loved it. They did apply for the loan. The appraisal is ordered and we are moving forward. But I want you guys to really make sure you catch this. I created an opportunity where someone obviously had objections. Someone obviously was nervous into creating extreme value. And I didn't get just one loan. I got 2 loans. I got a rate and term refinance, and then I got a fixed rate second after the fact to consolidate debt. And then I have a possible 3rd loan that I'm already selling for 12 months down the road. So create that type of value. No servicer is going to do stuff like that.
Yeah, and I would call it, he scheduled his next loan, not based off of a date, but based off of a financial milestone that will help that family achieve financial freedom faster and will help that family save money. So let me just break down a couple things. This was a total cost analysis Jeremy shared in the last call, because I want you guys to just check all the boxes. And remember, he's tailoring, like that particular customer wanted cash out. So he tailored the most efficient way for them to do that. This particular customer was kind of like, hey, should I refi now or should I wait? And he showed, hey, here's what you have currently. This is what I can refinance you in today. You can save $352 a month, or you could take that $353 a month and prepay, keep making the same payment, and that would save you $241,000 over the life of the loan, 23 years. By the way, specificity. There's so much power in being specific about, this is your client for life plan. This is how I'm going to help you save money. And then he scheduled the future refi. By the way, Jeremy, what percentage of the time, and remember, he put a video on it. In this case, it was a 4-minute, 2-second video. What percentage of the time are you creating the mortgage coach using the Encompass integration versus without? It looks like the plan B, where if they don't want to fill out the app, you're doing it without. And it looks like if they fill out the app, then you're using the integration to create the mortgage coach.
That is correct. So call it, I'm using the integration 100% of the time. If I have a loan application, there's no reason to not do that.
And how much time do you think it saves you?
Oh my God, it saves me. I would say that a regular total cost analysis without the integration, actually just making it myself, probably takes me 5 minutes or so. With the integration, 3 minutes. So I'm saving 45% of time.
Yeah, and workflow matters. Remember, guys, if you're going to kick asset purchase, stay in the purchase game, gain market share with realtors, and you're going to optimize refinance, your workflow matters, your optimization matters. One more lesson, and then Jeremy, if there's anything else you have to share, I'll have you share it. But also, let's be ready to transfer to another script. So, speed to lead. Like, you want to be able to get to these opportunities quickly and efficiently. So I want to make sure, if you are a mortgage coach client, be sure to tell your company to get a demo of the Trust Engine app. So again, this is enterprise only. You have to be a customer of ours, not an individual loan officer, but we're monitoring your database for eligibility, like who's eligible to refi, sell, or purchase a home. Who's in the money? We're starting to see more of these rate and term refi TCAs. And notice this, guys, once you click into the specific client, I can all in the app, I can email the customer. Sounds like Jeremy's going to start on the far end. I'm going to call him. And guys, we have a script, what to say if you call, and we can customize that on a per branch basis. We've got a text. I could text exactly what to text, exactly what to email. So all this could be done for all you producing managers. Like, you could tell your management team you want to get this through your branch. And again, we do have some minimum commitments, but everything you need to have a super effective conversation with that client. You would know exactly what their current debt is. You would not know what their current tappable equity is, all the information, and exactly why we think that this is an opportunity for you. So again, workflow matters, scripting matters, strategy matters. Let's get after it.
Awesome. I can't. No, let's move to the next one. The only thing I'll leave there is I can't wait to have that. I'm working on getting it right now on an enterprise solution. That is so sick. I cannot wait, because there's no excuses once you have something like that at your fingertips.
Hey, real quick before we go to a completely different script, I know that you mentioned a couple calls ago that you were getting realtors to refer you refis. Just give us a minute on how you're getting realtors to get in the game.
Awesome. So this is a great, not only strategy tactic for you, but there's a script with it, because we're going over scripts today. Okay. And if you'd like, Dave, I'm happy to send you the video that I sent out as an email video. to my realtors, and it was like and the topic, like for me, oftentimes in my video communication from a marketing standpoint, I'm really just like, hey, here are one, two, or three things, right, that I'm having a lot of success with in the market, that I'm seeing in the market, that could help you close more deals. That's always my marketing message, by the way. Like, it's like, here's one, two, or three things that I'm seeing right now in the market, or that I'm having a lot of success with, that could help you close more deals. That is what I call my brand marketing. That's what I'm known for. That's all I say the same thing every time when I start. Here's two things that I'm seeing right now in the market that could really help you get more deals, right? So that is my messaging. Now, within that, at the very end of this video, and I'm happy to have Dave post it, right, for anyone to watch, I let people know that, hey, here's a big opportunity for you, just because it's great. Here's a big opportunity for you as a real estate agent, right? I want you to go and touch base with anyone that you have closed in the last 2 years. And you can go back as many as 4 years if you want and use this script, but really it's the best for the last 2 years, and let them know that interest rates have dropped significantly and there's a lot of market opportunities where maybe they could save money on a monthly basis or pay off your loan twice as fast. Okay, so once again, am I giving them the same script, Dave? Yes, that I use, right? But how I sell it to the realtor, because this is true, this isn't a tactic for me, is that I let them know in this video that, hey, this is a really easy touch point for you to reach out to your database and add real value, letting them know that they can save a lot of money monthly or pay off their home twice as fast. And then as a realtor, you want to ask them this question, like, how is everything with the home? Are you still liking it? How is everything with the house that you bought? Are you still liking it? Has anything changed in your life and situation? Like, because these interest rates have come down, if you're ever interested in looking at a different house too, I'm more than happy to provide numbers for you that show you if you sell your current house and move into a different type of home. That creates opportunity for them as well. That creates opportunity for them as well. And I've gotten 2 refinance transactions that have taken loan applications from that one email, 2 realtors, where they introduced me to a client that has closed in the last 18 months that I can save money for on a refinance. You're muted, Dave.
Script number 2, pure gold. Get out there with your realtors. It is valuable for them. Not only are they helping their customers, but they're going to get some move up opportunities. So, and Jeremy, you'll forward that link. If you're watching this in YouTube, there'll be a link down below. Any links that we've mentioned, that total cost analysis that Jeremy and I shared will be down below. The video that he's actually creating for realtors will be down below. So how big of a deal is it? Now let's switch to purchase, where people are on the fence. They're like, hey, should we wait till after the election? I hear rates are coming down. I hear the Fed is going to lower rates again. And by the way, if you're getting value from this, use the reaction button, whether you're watching this in YouTube, Facebook, give us a reaction as to how much value you're getting. And it looks like the audience is just growing, Jeremy, so people are digging it. So how big of a deal is that, Jeremy? Creating urgency,
It's huge.
people off the fence and into escrow. Is that a big deal?
This is the money shot right here. Okay. So check this out. Yesterday, I did a presentation for 25 agents. Okay. And I have 10 minutes every other week for this group of 25 agents that I talk to. And by the way, if you're ever giving any type of talk, or if you're using messaging and email marketing, you always want the thing you want to pay them attention to the most, the last bullet point. Okay. I'm going to say that again. Whenever you are influencing and you want them to really pay attention to something, and you're going over 1, 2, 3, 4 different things, the last one is the one that you want to go over that you want them to pay attention the most to. Okay. So here's the script that I used yesterday in my presentation, as I ended like this. All right, you guys. So here I'm going to leave you with like the easiest script and reach out that you guys can do for anyone that is still sitting on the fence, that hasn't bought, that's been in your pipeline for 2 years. Okay. So does that sound great, Dave? Yes. Like if I said that to you, Dave, and you're a realtor, and I go, okay, guys, here, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to share with you the easiest script that you can reach out to all of the people that have been sitting on the fence and that haven't bought in the last 2 years. And it sounds just like this. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Borrower, right? I don't know if you have seen but interest rates have come down dramatically, and you can save hundreds and hundreds of dollars per month at the same purchase price that you were at before. It also means that you could qualify for up to $100,000 higher in a purchase price and keep your payments the same as you were qualified at before. I would love to give you some new numbers, some updated items, etc., and maybe we can start a new home search, because there is a great opportunity happening for you right now. I taught them that script. Okay, now what was the question they asked? Well, how much can they actually save, etc., etc.? This is where you can really double down, the double punch down on your influence with the realtors, is have something prepared. So I like to use real examples, or you can create an example. So I'm going to share my screen and show you like a real example. So someone did ask that in the presentation. Let me find the right link, because I have so many open here. Here we go. There it is. So I'm going to share my screen and go through with you what I did literally with them yesterday. Is I said, okay, here's an example, you guys. I'm going to share my screen. I said, this borrower was on the fence and wanted to make an offer, but they were teetering already on even making the offer, saying, hey, it's like on the kind of, I don't know, it's on the upper end of my price range, etc. And this is someone on a 12-month bank statement loan, self-employed loan, right? So the rates haven't come down quite as much, but they still have come down quite a bit. So what I showed them was, hey, realtors, like, here's a great example. This person wanted to purchase a $945,000 home. And 1 month ago, I showed them, here's what the interest rate was 1 month ago at 7.375%. Here's what their payment was 1 month ago, 5563 at 7.375%. Here's what their cash to close was, $331,000, right? 1 month ago at 7.357%. Here's the great news. Like today on this, the interest rate is over 0.5% lower at 6.75%. The payment is $271.39 less per month than it was 1 month ago. And the cash to close, not only did the rate go down, the cost went down on this loan. Now they're coming in with $8,000 less. They're saving $271 a month if they compare this to making that same offer 1 month ago. And I shared this with them. They all thought it was incredible. They're like, oh my gosh. And then you say, hey, do any of your clients or leads want one of these presentations? Or if you want me to make one of these presentations for one of your clients that's sitting on the fence, I can make one for it. All you have to give me is the information on the offer price that they are on the fence about. How much money do they have to put down? And I will create one for you, and you can send it to the client. That is value. That's how you create value. So I'm using MortgageCoach to show these scenarios. That was a real scenario, right? Someone went into contract. They went into contract, by the way. They wrote the offer, went into they're like, oh, this is great. $8,000 less out of pocket, and my payment's $300 a month less. Okay, I get it. We can do it. Another example of this, right, is let me show you one that I made for a real estate agent. Okay. Right here. And I made this for him. And the context of this was, we were having a conversation, he and I, and Noah's his name. He's an amazing partner of mine. And he was like, hey, what would you do? Like if you have, we have this client, you know, they're pre-approved already with their bank, et cetera. But what would you do if there's a house that's been sitting on the market? I think there's an opportunity. It's listed at 2 million. That's all they'll accept because they've lowered it once already. But they really just want to offer like 1.9 million, right? They want to offer 1.9 million. And he's like, what would you do? This is a realtor asking me that. And he's like, I think there's a deal here, right? And I said, well, hey, let's take a look at the numbers. I'll make you a presentation for you that you can pass on to your client, right? That shows you what is the actual opportunity. And then this is what it looks like, you guys, is that I made it with a video. Now, when I make the video, Dave, and you don't have to unmute yourself, I'm like role playing with myself here. When I make the video, Dave, like I go ahead and I'm making the video for the realtor, but it's obviously directed towards the buyer, so that when the buyer gets it, it's all about them, even though I've never talked to them before. So in this scenario, this is what the seller wants. The seller wants a $2 million offer. Okay. The buyer wants to put down 500 grand. I showed them that on a jumbo 30-year fixed at 6.25 with no points, their payment's 92.35. Their total cash out of pocket is about 514,000, right? That's what the seller wants. That's not what the buyer wants to pay, right? The buyer keeps saying, I want to pay 1.9 max. So I showed them, okay, so if you get a $1.9 million, your offer accepted, right? Then you are looking at like a payment of $87.73, $461 less a month, and your cash out of pocket's $489,000, right? But the seller, we already know, isn't going to accept that. But this is what you want as the buyer. And then I showed them a strategy. And I said, here's a strategy that can accomplish both, where you're meeting in the middle, where you're going to make a $1.95 million purchase offer price, which is really close. Noah thinks that you can get into contract if we go 195, and we ask for a 2% credit. We're going to use that 2% credit to buy the interest rate down to 5.5% and pay most of your closing costs. Your payment is going to be less than if you bought it at 1.9 million at 8303, and your cash to close is going to be less than if you bought it at 1.9 million at 487,500. Right? This got me an introduction to a new lead that was already pre-approved, underwritten with their bank, direct banker, BMO, whatever they are. I don't know what that means, by the way. BMO, I should look it up. BMO bank, approved with them. I got the introduction from a strategy, right? Like, this is how you can get what you want, and the seller can get closer to what they want and create a win-win. So those are two different ways, you guys, that I'm giving people scripts, the realtors, to generate refis or future listings for themselves with their database. And also, how do I help them get people off the fence strategically? Whether I get the loan or not, I'm a resource to the agent.
Hey, Jeremy, first of all, that was badass. Guys, let us know what you thought of that in chat. Shop
Well,
Baracy.
I had to perform for the #1 LO in the world. I was like, I see him.
Crushed it,
I'm
man.
like,
Crushed it.
What's up,
You know,
bro?
hey, look, good to see you, man. I mean, look,
You
you
too.
had so much value, and I think, my quick takeaway from even just watching it, like I've been saying that, the loan officer is never been more important than it is right now. Like with everything going on in the face of change for our real estate partners, whether you're a listing agent or buyer's agent, whether you're a client trying to get into housing, right? And it's, there's affordability challenge and all that kind of stuff. The more challenging and confusing things get, the more important we become. And if we can be the person that advises them and nurtures them and helps them attain homeownership, the clients, obviously, that's massive value to them, but also to our partners to help them navigate all these changes they're going through. So like what you're doing, man, it's like next level in terms of just like taking something that's complex and simplifying it and showing them, the path to moving forward. So great job. I mean, and I know obviously there's a ton of people on this call that are hopefully going to go out and, start doing what you're doing, because this is gold.
Hey, Sean.
Awesome.
Hey,
well, thanks, man.
Pull up that one you showed just last where you had two programs. Because here's something where I think this is underplayed. Jeremy showed a total cost analysis. Column A. No, not this one, the one right before it, where it was like, what were rates a month ago?
Oh, okay, you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, the one right before that. So column A was a month ago. These were rates. This was your purchasing power. And when I saw this, getting realtors to go back to their funnel, like here we are.
Yeah.
1 month ago, rates were at 7.375.
Love it.
Today, they're at 6.75. And just to refresh every one of your pipe. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, I think, if I was a real estate agent, my lender was come back to me and let me know, and my clients too, how much more buying power I have or how much better my budget is, and how much more reach I have entering the spring market where, it's extremely difficult to stay in touch with a client over the course of a 12-month span, which is usually how long it takes somebody to get an offer accepted from the time they start their home search. So if you can figure out ways to jump in and reach out to people with value, it eliminates all the call reluctance, because you're actually calling them with great news. The clients are going to appreciate it. They're going to be sticky to you. That's immediate value. The realtor partners, they're going to go crazy over it, right? And it just makes you more important to them and an important member of their team, not just some vendor that's issuing pre-approvals and quoting interest rates.
Boom.
Hey, Sean, just hold on. He just shared something that I want to make sure you guys get, like hardcore. No, I almost said a bad word, but no, nothing. Okay. Hardcore. Everyone's so afraid to call because you guys all think like this just pisses me off, because it pisses me off because I know that you guys can all do so much more with very little. That's why it pisses me off for you. Okay. It's like, if you're afraid to call, all you have to do is send someone something and call about it.
Yes.
Like that's all you have to do. There should be no call reluctance. Imagine like that you work at an oil change place and you change the oil and no one came to pick up their car. Would you call them to come get their car? Of course you would. It's the same exact mindset. Like send them something that is helpful and then call them to see what they thought of it. That's it.
And let them
It's so
say
simple.
thank you to you. That's what they're gonna say. They're gonna say, this is
Yes.
awesome. Appreciate you. Thank you. And it's like
That's
it's like
it.
another deposit you can make in your clients, and it will increase conversion. It will increase your referability. It will increase everything.
100%.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let, I just grabbed him. He was walking by. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, bud.
All right.
Jeremy, good to see you, my man.
Yeah, good to see you too, man.
All right. So guys, hopefully you're getting value from this. We will have links to all these down below. That was Sean Bedosian, #1 loan officer in America. He was just on stage at the IMB Summit here in Dallas, Texas. So Jeremy, we could go two different directions. You got 9 minutes left. We could do a script on how exactly are you getting meetings with realtors right now. And by the way, audience, do you want to hear that? What is he doing to actually get a meeting right now? Or we could do, what are the questions you're asking and what are the most important scripts while you're in meetings with realtors right now? We might have time for both, but which one do you want to do first? And audience, feel free to wave in. Like, you know, you may sway Jeremy in this. So one, Joey said getting meetings. We got another getting meetings. We got both.
All right,
So
let's just do getting meetings because we kind of just did it, just so you know.
Yeah, I
Chat
agree.
was just on. Okay, hold on. I just want to make sure I'm an oversimplifier. Okay, we kind of just did it, you guys. We literally just did it. Like, think about it for a second. Let silence happen for 5 seconds. And think about, what did we just cover in the previous 2 things for realtors? How to get buyers off the fence, how to reach out and what to say to your clients to get appointments with them right now, right? What is the, like, how following up with them on a program and interest rate update. This is what people can afford now. And then calling them to follow up with them and get meetings. Like, we kind of already did it. The problem is you think it's more complicated than that. You think that you need a 14-point system, like, to get an appointment. All you have to do is send them something that could help them close more loans or save more time, and then ask if you could meet with them to review it, and you can show them more in depth how you are happy to help them get more appointments, get more listings, get more buyers, get people off the fence, save more time. Okay? I swear to God, that is it. Let's not make it a bigger thing. What we are afraid of is rejection. Okay, so I think that whenever we go into how are we getting more appointments with realtors, fear comes up, anxiety comes up instantly, right? Like, look, I'm gonna get an appointment right now with a hot realtor. Hey, will you meet with me if I can show you, Kara, like how to close some more deals? You will? Yeah. See, there she is. Yeah. So she said yes, right? She's taking her real estate license test soon. So I'm practicing on her. All right. Huh? They might be in her car. So you take my
Kara,
part.
by the way, I know you don't like it when Jeremy does that. I know Jeremy just got in trouble.
It's that, no, she's fine. She's looking for something. I can't help her right now. So it's like, but you guys, I really do mean it. Like, so if you want ways, I want you to write down, like, and then put this into Chat GPT. I haven't done this, but this is what I would do if I was struggling.
Whoa.
Making...
Let me do Chat GPT. And
Ready?
I'm going to put it on the voice memo. Guys, it's as simple as I'm just going to do voice. And then Jeremy, give me a Chat GPT prompt. 3,
Cool.
2, 1.
What would be valuable to help real estate agents close more transactions in 2024 and 2025?
And below are some key tools and skills that would be valuable. AI-driven customer relationships, automated property valuation tools, virtual tools, leverage big data. Guy, did you hear that? Leverage big data? Like, how cool would it be? Hey, realtor, you got a few minutes so I can, show you an idea and a strategy to identify people who are most likely to be wanting to move up, or the presence of a first-time home buyer in a household. I've got an idea. You got a few minutes so I can show you an idea of how to be more predictive with
Hey,
a purchase.
hey, Dave, I want you to do something. I want you to go back into the same one right now. I want you to go back into that chat GPT, and I want you to say this, or I can say it. Just tell me when to talk.
Okay. 3, 2.
Please expand upon best ways to communicate and any scripts you recommend when actually contacting the client in order to get appointments and show value.
Boom. And pushed. Getting an appointment with clients, all about the right approach and needs. Cold outreach, initial call. Agent, hello. This is John. My name is Dave Savage, and I'm a local, well, it thinks I'm a real estate agent. And is it supposed to think I'm a real
This
estate
is
agent?
supposed to be for a real estate agent.
Okay. And I've noticed some trends that could potentially benefit homers like you. And I was wondering if you'd be interested in getting a free market analysis of your home. It only takes 15 minutes. I can highlight exactly, I love that word exactly, what makes your property stand out in today's market. Would you be available for just a quick meeting this week, and I can go over your property's value and any opportunities you might want to consider?
Okay, we
By
can
the
stop
way,
there.
Key best practices: personalize your introduction, provide immediate value. Anyways, go ahead.
I just want to show you guys how easy it is. Okay. Like, I have never even done that before. I just thought it while we were sitting here. I'm like, how do we create things to talk about when we reach out, when we call to get appointments? Like, you can
guys, look at it. I'm
yeah,
showing it on my screen. Literally,
incredible.
Jeremy, did the voice prompt. Everything that I just said, you can see it. Then he did another voice prompt. Give us 6 ideas, 8 ideas, 10 ideas, 12 ideas, 13 ideas.
Now watch this. You can expand. You can type in again under the prompt. Please.
And then there's another prompt.
Yeah. Now you can do another one after that. This even and say, please condense down to what the most influential script would be when reaching out to a customer to get an appointment.
And boom.
Now you have a format that you can teach right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now you have a format and an outline that you can teach to your agents, right? And you can give an example in each one. So let's start with like the top, Dave, the number 1 on that one that you expanded on, right there. Personalization. So this is how I would teach it, you guys. Hey, you guys, so there's 5 things that we want to do to get people off the fence and reach out and get appointments, right? Number 1 is mention something specific about their client, such as the property or neighborhood, like something like, hey, I noticed the value trends in your neighborhood have gone up 5%. I know that there's multiple offers. Give them examples. There is multiple offers currently, like on 60% of all transactions in your zip code, right? Like, do something personalized. Value proposition of moderate, immediate, tangible value. Listen, I would love to provide you with a free market analysis. It'll only take 15 minutes of your time, and I can deliver it to you, email it over. That way you can know exactly where you stand and what your opportunities are, right? And number 3 is create urgency, right? Highlight a timely reason. Homes in your area have seen a significant increase in value recently. Like, this may be a perfect time to discuss opportunities before they go away. You know how I added that on there, right? That adds more urgency before they go away, right? Strong call to action, and with a specific prompt that invites them to set an appointment, right? Listen, this is only going to take 15 minutes. So are you available this week or next week? What are typically bad days for you so we can work around that, right? Number 5 is conciseness. Keep your message brief and focused, emphasizing on the key benefit. That's a whole class that you could teach.
And guys, I just copied it. I put it in my favorite little clipboard. Now that is in Evernote. guys, you just got 3 amazing scripts. And then we closed out with not only providing you with scripts for realtors, getting meetings, bringing value, but how to use ChatGPT to learn how to fish for yourself. Like, so
Yeah.
super proud of this message. Jeremy, there's more scripts to be had. We're going to have to do another one of these calls. I also want to spend 15 minutes with you on Zoom and really show your workflow. Like, hey, how do you create a mortgage coach without the integration? So people can see what that looks like. I want to see what you created with the integration so that we really have the Jeremy Forcier workflow. Are you cool with scheduling that at some point in the next week or so?
You got it, bro. Well, hey,
All right,
everyone,
guys.
thanks for being on, you guys. I had a great
Yeah,
time. I feel like I could do this for hours. I love it.
and guys, the best way to show love to Jeremy is, like him on social media. Like he loves bringing value to everybody. He wants to bring value to families. He wants to bring value to realtors. He wouldn't be on this call if he didn't want to bring value to mortgage professionals. So give him a like, follow him on Instagram, and then share this. Guys, if you're a producing manager, use this as a training. Everything that we've gone through, like there's knowing it, and then there's doing it. And then there's knowing it and doing it so well you can teach it. And then there's knowing it, doing it so well that you teach it and it is a habit. And then guys, check your results. Like if refis are flooding in and you're killing it, well, then you're doing it right. And if they're not, you need to do more training. So guys, this is a wrap. If you're not following savageinsights.com, follow savageinsights.com. Make sure you subscribe to the group. And Jeremy, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Love you guys.
Take care, everybody. This is a wrap.